I am Maria Garcia de Florin. Barnabas was a Jew from the tribe of Levi, born in Cyprus. His original name was Joseph, but the apostles changed it to Barnabas. Although Barnabas was not one of the 12 chosen by Jesus Christ, he is considered an apostle by the first fathers of the church, even by St. Luke, for the special mission entrusted to him by the Holy Spirit and his active apostolic task. He was probably one of the 70 disciples of whom the Gospel speaks. In any case, he is a leading figure in the fervent community which was formed in Jerusalem after Pentecost. In the early church in Jerusalem, followers of Jesus showed encouragement and courage to proclaim the word, despite living amidst threats from religious leaders. The political tensions and religious persecutions were great. In this context, Barnabas appeared on the scene and not only confessed Christ, but joined his church and did so in a committed way. In the book of the Acts of the Apostles, in chapter 4, it is said that Barnabas had property, but he sold it and brought the money and deposited it at the feet of the apostles. The power of the gospel had transformed this man. He was determined to follow the Lord with commitment, without looking at the possible consequences. The apostles had a lot of appreciation for him. They considered him trustworthy, and because of his personality, he held a leadership position in the church. For this reason, they chose him to go with Paul to evangelize in Antioch, which became the great center of evangelization, and it was there where, for the first time, the name Christians was given to the faithful followers of Christ. Satisfied with having opened the way for the evangelical proclamation among the pagans, Paul and Barnabas went to other places. First stage, Cyprus, homeland of Barnabas. Then they went to Paphos, where they converted the Roman proconsul Sergius Paulus. Then they sailed to Perga in Pamphylia. At Iconium in Laconia, Barnabas and Paul were almost stoned to death. Then in Lystra, at the end of their first missionary journey, during Paul's preaching, he noticed the presence of a crippled man. He approached him and said, "Get up and walk." And the crippled was healed. The crowd, seeing what Paul had done, began to shout, "The gods in human form have come down to us." They called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercury, because he was the most eloquent of the two. On their return to Antioch, they passed through all the cities they had visited to confirm and ordain presbyters. Certain differences arose between Paul and Barnabas, so they decided to separate. Around the year 60 or 61, St. Barnabas had already died. It is said that he was stoned to death in Salamis. Other tradition presents him as a preacher in Alexandria and Rome, and also as the first bishop of Milan. Knowing Barnabas, with his humility, generosity, and desire to bring the gospel to all people, we would do well to ask ourselves, are we also willing to exalt Christ above our personal interest, being examples of commitment, responsibility, generosity, and love? Barnabas did it because he knew that with God we always win.